You gotta love when there's lag on your laptop. It's been a day for sure, but now we're live. I can see us. We're good to go. But hello, all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to another rendition of NXTilosos, your NXT review show here at the BC WrestlePod. I am Mikey, also known as of these BC WrestlePod parts, and joining me this evening is Papa Oso himself. Well, we're dying. We're both dying. It's 112 today. I'm just like, I don't want to go outside. Outside's my enemy right now. We were supposed to have our third co-host join us this evening. I'm still trying to figure out if he's coming or not. Hopefully nothing too bad happened to our lovable third co-host, Macho. So hopefully he'll pop in as we go along. But if not, you get us two for the evening. Alrighty. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get into this episode of NXT. As always, if you are new here, whether it was the algorithm, your friend, or all the good stuff. We are here and we thank you for being here. If you want to subscribe to more, it's just kind of fun and all that goodness. So make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, the follow on Twitch and Kick. But if you cannot sit through a whole review and just want to get the, Spark Notes version of everything we talk about, follow us on the social medias where we have clips from our shows. We have report cards every week, so you can debate us in the comments, which we love to have. We love talking to people, as well as some other fun stuff that gets on the socials. We also have some merchandise available. So if you want to pick up something nice for yourself, whether that be a merch featuring the symbols of our review teams, our summer collection, our pride collection, our anti-fascism collection, it is all in one place. You just need to click in the link in the comment section or in the chat right now at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. That is bcwrestlepod.fourthwall.com. And of course, especially with our pride and our anti-fascism line, proceeds will be donated to charitable organizations for our pride collection. It is Point of Pride. And for our anti-fascism campaign, part of the proceeds will be donated to the California Youth Immigration Justice Fund. So we're out here trying to make a difference in these times because it's wild out here. But now that we got that out of the way, let's just jump into NXT because we'll say this was a little bit of an improvement than last of it this week. My only issue was just especially I was like, there was one match we did not need to see because this is the third time within the span of 2.5 weeks that we've run this back multiple times. I was like, why didn't we just get through it the first time? But it is what it is at this point. Also, NXT, I didn't include it in here because I couldn't find pictures of it. But when we preview next week, we're going to talk about certain things because I'm like, Lex is king. We are kind of treading the line when it comes to very it is about to be happening. I was like, ooh, I don't like this direction, but we're going to talk about that. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. We kick NXT off, of course, as every WWE programming this past week has done. We have a 10-bell salute for Hulk Hogan. Anybody who tuned into our Sunday show for WWE, we kind of already ran through that and our thoughts and feelings about where some of us WWE hosts stand with all this stuff. So I'm not going to discuss it any further. I will say though, NXT, you probably did the best job of keeping the composed face and not visually showing, be like, nah, we can't be here. So after that 10-bell salute, we get a, video package of highlighting Hogan's career with voiceovers from legends and other talent. And I was like, okay, and it's over. I'm like, no more. So we just kick things off officially with our first match of the evening, which is Jada Parker versus Jasmine Nix of Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence. I almost said Attraction. It's two more. So we knew we were getting this match last week as we, are slowly building towards Heat Wave, which is going to be in a couple of weeks. And this was a fine match. This was fine. I mean, Jasmine has added some moves to her repertoire, but I was like, okay, let's be real. There's no way Jada's losing this match. And sure enough, Jada Parker does walk away with the victory here, which I'm super happy about. So I'm like, thank you. I was like, Miss Parker. The crowd is behind Jada, and I love seeing that. She is so over with this NXT universe. But yeah, afterwards, we also got to see a little bit of some dissension because Fallon, especially Jason, was yelling at Jasmine for not getting the job done. I'm like, girl, what'd you expect? I'm like, what is happening? But Will, what did you think about our opening match between Jada and Jasmine? Hey, Will, we can't hear you. And then I'm done because I was trying to say for the whole time. And then my mic was muted too. Oh, it's not our day today. Technology, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right, that was dumb. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway, as I was saying, and I'm
Go
gonna
for it.
recap everything I just said, is I thought this match was pretty cool. I liked it. I think we're seeing the collapse of Fatal Influence. I'm predicting this, and I don't whether it happens or not is irrelevant, but I think somewhere down this road very soon, JC's gonna get her ass kicked by these girls. They are gonna turn on her and whoop her butt. And I'm here for that. And I mean, because prior to her having both of those belts, or even the first belt, she was a heel, yes, but she was like a heel that I'm like, yeah, girl, you're bad. You're a badass. But now it's just like, shut up. It's like literally, I don't even want to hear you talk. And I hate that they've done that with her. I hate just like they do with Trick. I mean, I love Trick, and I love Trick as a wrestler. I love the wrestler himself. I do not like what they've done with him. And I think they did the exact same thing with JC. And I hate that. It's like you don't have to be a heel, and I like the old JC. I think she would make a better champion than this JC. I don't like this JC Jane. I don't like her at all. Now,
Right.
with all that put off to the side, let's talk about Miss Jada Parker. I freaking love this woman, and I am so excited that she is a solo wrestler now, and she's not associated with like a tag team or anything like that. And and my hot take I said earlier was, I don't think she would be good on a tag team. She would not be able to work well as a team unless you found someone who was either complete opposite of her or just as powerful and they could kind of balance each other out that way. But I want to see her walk away with some stuff because I love her. I have loved her growth to where she is now. I absolutely love her. So,
Oh, absolutely. I think Jada has grown leaps and bounds. The charisma's always been there, and now the audience is like
oh
behind
yeah.
her, which is so good. I cannot wait to see where Jada goes. But Jada winning this match, we'll see her to lay a little bit later because it's setting up possibly another opportunity for Jada come down the line. So we'll get into that though. But again, like we said, Jasmine gets berated by JC and Fallon. So I'm like, ooh, the cracks are forming. I'm excited. It's crazy to say. I'm excited to see when both Fallon and Jasmine hit their breaking points. They're gonna be like, when it matters the most, they're gonna leave JC, and JC is going to lose, and it's gonna be fun to watch from a
Mhm.
storytelling perspective, obviously.
Well, absolutely.
But yep, but we move on from here because, again, I might be skipping over some stuff because pictures could not be found of certain segments, but also a lot of the backstage shots set up what we would see in the ring anyways. But we get a promo from Javon Evans. Javon reflects on his conversation with The Undertaker from last week, and he is going to take Undertaker's advice by going after the biggest dog in the NXT junkyard, so to speak, which then prompts Trick to come out, our TNA World Champion. And of course, Trick's ego, as he's talking to Javon, basically tells Javon, is like, look, man, you're going to get your shot. But, I can't I was like, you ain't ready to be TNA World Champion, this and that. And Javon's like, that's cool, bro, but I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about going after Oba Femi, which I love. I was just like, that is such a diss. And I love it because Javon's like, listen, dude. I was like, Oba is the biggest, dog in the junkyard right now, not you. But then Trick gets offended and then tries to dissuade Javon that he isn't ready for Oba, which then prompts High Rise to come out. So Wesley, Tyreek Igwe, and Tyson DuPont. Wes gets on the mic and basically, is backing up Trick as some weird alliance. But it's alliance out of necessity because Wes says that, he believes that hanging out with Trick will give him and the rest of High Rise opportunities, as we would see later as Wes is preparing for his match against Javon later in the evening, that, if Wes takes care of Javon, which was funny, if Trick can hook up the High Rise boys with the opportunity at the TNA Tag Team Championships, I was like, Trick is world champion. He's not the bookie. He's not the booker. Like, what is happening? That's not how that works. Which made it even better when Santino came in and corrected everybody later, which was funny. But Javon's just like, nah, bro. Like, we ain't here to have all that. He tries to fight Wes, and the numbers game is too much, and he beat up 4-1. But I was okay with this, especially because what we got later in our match, Javon got his lick back. So it's like it built up to Javon just going crazy. We're going to talk about that match in a little bit. I love that Javon is like, no, Trick. I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to Oba. I was like, which on one hand, I was like, now, Mikey, you gotta calm it down. Like, they're not directly attacking TNA in general. It's just Trick, not the TNA brand as a whole. But I was screaming and laughing as hard as I can. I was just like, Trick's ego and his delusion is so much fun to watch the downfall of. It's the same thing with JC. Both of them are in the Icarus flying too close to the sun thing, and it's kind of similar. So I'm interested to see where this goes. And this sets up what we get later in the evening. So, Will, any additional thoughts about this segment as a whole?
No, it was just fun. It was fun to watch Trick's ego get slapped to the floor. That was so nice. It was so funny. I laughed so hard. I love this sassy. Oh my god, this go get him. I am big things, man. Big things.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Wes and Javon a little bit later because we move on to what wasn't advertised until the episode started. But this was set up from last week. We were getting Charlie Dempsey versus Tavion Heights Part 3. And this is a result of Bubba Ray Dudley setting up the mat last week. And again, the stipulation is that if Tavion can beat Charlie Dempsey, then he is allowed to leave no quarter catch crew. The match itself was pretty good. I will say this is probably my favorite of the 3 interactions that these two have had within the last couple of weeks. Tavion ends up winning, so he is now able to go his own way, which I love. Why did we have to have this match 3 times to get there, though? I was just like, why? That makes no sense. I was like, okay.
Yeah, this was, even though I am extremely excited for Tavion, I'm extremely excited for him because I think he's gonna be great on his own. This was like, why do we have to do this again? I mean, seriously, knew it was gonna happen. I was full on like, he's gonna kick Charlie's ass. He did, and I was like, okay, that could have been an email. All right.
It really could have, honestly.
I
I
mean,
was just like,
seriously.
what are we doing, you guys? Like, what's
And it's a
happening?
waste. It was a waste of talent. And I mean, truly, you wasted both of them. Even though I'm not a big Charlie Dempsey fan, he's still a really good wrestler. And I thought, or it could have been, it could have been something bigger and better than this. I think that it just didn't. I don't think it served either of them. Other than, Tavion gets to leave no quarter catch crew. But honestly and truly, it's like, what did it really? I mean, we knew you were going to leave, dude. We knew it. So why? So I could have just had behind the shed, like, let's have a fisticuffs behind the shed and be done with it. We didn't have to do all.
This final match should have been like for all the marbles, like let it be no DQ, like let them go ham, like, or honestly, again, I'm happy that Tavion is on his own, but you could have built this up to like maybe have something go down at Heat Wave between the two of them, where it's just like PLE. I was just like, again, in ring, this was probably the best of the 3 that we've seen within the last couple of weeks between these two. I'm excited to see where Tavion goes now as a single star. It only leaves Charlie Dempsey and Ren Sinclair as the only 2 members left of No Quarter Catch Crew. But again, we did not need to have this match 3 times if the end result was going to be Tavion leaving. But hey, you know what? I was still entertained, so this was pretty all
I
right.
was too. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Alrighty, Blake Monroe, icon. So, okay, I had to rewatch this because I needed to make sure that I got my feelings in check first. Because normally I'm like, Blake gets in the ring. Jordan Grace is obviously not here this evening because of Blake making Jordan go into a steel chair on the floor with her DDT finisher, which was a lot of fun to watch. She talks about how Jordan Grace is not the standard for a champion, and I was like, well, you're a heel, so like, of course, we'll see it. And then the before pictures happened. I was like, that was nasty work, Blake. I was like, okay. I had to pause. I was like, I'm still not here for this thing. But for the character and the way that Blake portrays the said character, she's essentially a mean girl. Like she's going to be. This is like giving Regina George from Mean Girls down. Like, this is high school drama. And so while I was still a little bit about the before pictures of Jordan that we got to see, I was like, okay, if this means that Jordan gets to kick her ass later, then I think I'll be okay with it because we still got to see how Jordan responds to all of that. But I was like, damn, Blake, where'd you get those? I was like, NXT, are we really doing this? Okay, well, strap in. So I guess we'll see what happens with all of this. Then, okay, first and foremost, Lola, I love you. I was happy you interrupted because, girl, it's been a hot minute. We love you seeing you here. I was waiting for you, though. I was like, I need these girls to ream Blake a new one. I was like, Lola tried, but it didn't go far enough for me. But she's like, listen, I was like, you are so beautiful, but you are very ugly on the inside. I was like, okay, that's a start. And then we got nothing else because then Jada comes in. Jada was the best one. I don't care about you, Lola. What I do care about is getting this NXT Women's Championship, and I ain't afraid to beat somebody up in order for me to do so. Then Jordan Grace's music hits, so we think Jordan's about to pop up into this conversation, but surprise and a swerve. It was Kalani Jordan. She's like, oops, the wrong Jordan is here tonight, but I digress. I was like, I need to know if they planned that or it would have been more impressive. So the four of them are in the ring. They all have one thing in mind, and then a brawl breaks out between the four of them. I'm like, and we're off to the races. I was like, listen, I love this women's division, but Shawn Michaels, please don't give me another fatal four-way for number one contendership. We just did this for the evolution. So we'll see what happens. But Will, any additional thoughts to this promo segment and pull apart brawl?
I'm not into the mean girl thing. I'm not. I think it's over. I think it's boring. I don't think I don't have a problem with it because I know it's an act, but I think it's boring. It's like, oh, okay. It's like you're the mean. Oh, okay. Like we've never seen that before. Like,
Nah.
can we? I mean, and this is coming from a theater person. Okay, can we not have some character depth? Can we not stay away from this? I mean, seriously, can we? Never go for the obvious choice. Always do something outside of the box. I think that if Blake Monroe wants to be this badass mean girl, you know, biggest bitch in the playground, then be that. Don't be the, oh, look at me. I'm going to show everybody your embarrassing pictures. Who cares? You can probably Google that shit. I don't care. I want you to do something bigger and badder than that. And this is mean girl, the mean girl trope is so overused. Every female identifying heel goes the mean girl route. And it's like, why? There's so many better choices out there. Personally, I think Blake Monroe could be a badass blonde Bond villain. That's what she needs to be, not the
Yeah.
look at me, I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody, which I'm pretty sure Jordan Grace is like, whatever. It's like, I don't
Like
know.
is about to get an ass whooping when she comes back.
Oh, she is absolutely, and which
Just
will
don't
be
be
worth it. But
right.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of this whole thing. Love me some Jada Parker coming in though and telling some who's and what's and wherefores though. I was like, you go girl, and I love me some Kalani Jordan, of course.
Yeah. So pull apart brawl. We're getting some matches between certain folks starting next week. So we got a couple weeks till Heat Wave, so we'll see what happens with all of that. But we move on from the segment. We get into this match, which I actually really enjoyed. So we got Lash Legend versus Fallon Henley. Of course, the numbers game is supposed to work in the favor of Fatal Influence, but I'm like, this is Lash Legend, y'all. I was like, did you really think you were going to get one over on her? Like, this match was fun. I love her kicking Jasmine in the face. She throws Fallon across the ring. She, ducks and attacks JC on the outside when they're trying to take her down. And the only reason that Fallon was able to win is because we had Nia Jax from, SmackDown main roster coming over because she's still upset at Lash for eliminating her at the Evolution Battle Royale. And so then Nia hits her finisher on Lash at the end of this whole segment. Fallon Henley wins due to interference. And normally I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I will say if this leads to a Nia Jax versus Lash Legend program, I'm kind of here for it because these are some big girls doing big girl things like, power-based wrestling. I'm excited for it. This is giving me NXT version of Amazona, so this should be good.
Yeah, this was good.
Big D1 basketball too, so she got that agility.
She's got that. Oh my god. I mean, it was great. I actually enjoyed this match a lot. Of course, I love both of these. This was going to be fun no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. So again, if this Fallon wins, but if this is setting up Lash versus Nia in some capacity, I am excited and I cannot wait because this is going to be a fun one for sure. But we got to move on though. This was my match of the whole entire night, and I'm going to be so for real. I got to rewatch this later this year because I think this might be in my contention for my favorite match of the whole 2025. This was, both of them went ham. So this was Javon Evans versus Wesley. Dare I say, I think this is probably the best television match NXT has
Oh
put
yeah.
on this year.
So good. Oh my god, it was so good.
I was just like, and even though he's not here tonight, Macho made a TikTok video earlier today, saying that these two showed that when given the opportunity and when no one's going to book these younger and let's be real, black stars, our young black talent, like they will show up and show out. Ooh, this was amazing. Javon hitting like a swan coast to coast from one corner of the ring to the other on Wes was nuts. The amount of height Javon can get is crazy, but Wes is also no slouch too. Wes was jumping all over the place, using the ropes, doing backflips. Oh, this was such a good match. Javon wins, and I'll run it back.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah.
Intense as the match went on, and I'm like, Javon, I need you to give me this every single time. Hold that intensity because that is what you're going to
I
need
think
to take down Oba.
I think this is ever since he talked to Undertaker, this is it. I think we see a new fire in him, and I am so excited for when he takes on Obafemi. I am so excited because this was so great. And I agree. I love both of these guys. Because I have always been, right when I first started this, I've always been a Wesley fan. Even in his heel days now. I love him. And it was such a breath of fresh air watching these two young men wrestle each other. Like the younger generation. And it was just like he flipped his turbo switch, man. And he
I
just
mean, look at this bottom picture when he went off the top turnbuckle. Look at the height on that.
I know. I was so impressed. This match should have been the main event. I'm sorry, but it should have.
Really should have. Like, not gonna
So
lie.
good. I think it wasn't the main event because I don't think they thought it would be this good.
And
It was beyond.
essentially, that's what Macho brought up in his TikTok video too about it too. It's just like, run it back, give me another point. Javon has something so special, and we saw that immediately, like when he was first introduced, like towards the middle of last year when he took on Ilya. I mean, Ilya's match was crazy, and then
It
just to
was.
watch him evolve. Heatwave last year, he went nuts in that fatal four way. Stand and deliver. Javon is always doing something great.
I really do.
Me too. I'm just like, this is I can't say anymore because I'm like, there's not enough words to describe how amazing this match was. But yeah, my match of the week.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So we got to move on though from this one. And of course, afterwards, Trick and Oba are holding up their titles. Javon is staring both of them down. I was just like, there's one of two things that are happening. One, I hope Javon gets to pick which title he goes after and chooses Oba just to spite Trick, or somehow it ends up becoming triple threat winner take all. Like, I'm gonna be. Here's the thing. Normally, I don't like double champions unless you're Stephanie Buckhead. But I will say though, if Javon is the one to be double champion, I actually like that better than Trick just being the single TNA champion. Because then again, Javon versus anybody in that TNA roster would go buck wild.
I agree with you, but I'm getting kind of tired of the double champion.
Right. So what I'm hoping is that he chooses Oba and Trick's ego gets hit again.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that's
Now,
what
I agree with you, though. I would love to see Javon as the TNA World Champion and him going over there. And man, that could be something.
I think so too. Like, ooh, it would be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We got a couple weeks till Heat Wave, so who knows how the card's gonna look. So we get a preview of what we're getting next week because pictures for NXT are very hard to find on the internet sometimes. But next week we are getting Blake Monroe versus Kalani Jordan. I'm pretty sure Blake's gonna win, but I'm excited to see Kalani put up a fight because Kalani's also really good. And a turn of events because of everything that went down at Great American Bash of the weeks prior and our 8-man tag team match. Tatum Paxley gets a shot at Sol Ruka's NXT Women's North American Championship next week. As much as I don't want any championship going to the Colleen, like if somehow Tatum becomes new Women's North American, I'm actually okay with it because I feel like Tatum should have had a title at some point right now in NXT. But I will say though, Izzy was kind of being a hater earlier in the show because she gets this title match and get the title from Sol at Great American Bash. But I'm excited to see Tatum versus Sol. This is going to be fun. And then, of course, we get an NXT Tag Team Championship match. Hank and Tank taking on Chase U in the most sports entertainment segment we had so far, where they literally broke the fourth wall. And Chase U's like, we could get a title match if we attack the tag team champs with chairs. And I was like, that's kind of how it's been the last couple of tag team defenses because Hank and Tank have gotten attacked with chairs. And voila, the attackers got tag team championship match. Who knew? That segment was funny because the Chase U boys come in with the chairs. Hank and Tank are ready to fight. They're just like, "What are you doing? We want a tag team title shot, so we've got to hit you with these chairs." No, man, if you want to get these tag champs like title match, all you got to do is ask. Wait, really? It's that easy? It's like, yeah. I did not tell them to attack you with chairs. Their dumb idea. It was so dumb, but it my kind of dumb.
I just can't with Chase U anymore.
They are wild for sure. But yeah, I'm excited about all this. I can't wait. So we go on to our main event, though. This is for the NXT North American Championship match. As much as I wanted Santino Marella of TNA to run away with this championship, I kind of figured Ethan Page was not going to lose this thing. So the match itself was fun. I'm really happy to see Santino get back in the ring. I know it's been a couple years, but now over the last month or so, he's been getting back in the ring. I mean, he went with Lola down through AAA in Mexico. Again, if whenever they want to run here in the States, Mr. Iguana versus Santino Marella, who is deadlier, Yeska, the Cobra, or the Yeska, the Iguana for Mr. Iguana, or the Cobra on Santino, please do that. Again, I'm going to be for real. I was just paying attention to Santino this match because I was like, let's see how Santino does. And I was enjoying Santino. I'm disappointed, though, that ref not looking allowed Ethan Page to poke him in the eye for the roll up and the Page Turner for the win.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I loved watching Santino. I loved it. I agree. I think it's fantastic that he's back, that he got back in the ring and got to do some stuff. I think that's fantastic. I mean, just rubs me the wrong way. And I hate that he does that. I mean, I guess that's what he's supposed to do, I hate that. And I know it's just a character he's playing, but it feels legitimate. And I'm pretty sure he's probably like the nicest human being in the world, but I just don't like him. And when I don't, and it's to that point where, way back in the day with like Braun Breaker and them, when I just was like, I don't like you and I don't care about you. And that's kind of where I am with Ethan Page right now. I'm like, okay, whatever. Anytime he opens his mouth, I'm just like, okay, can we move on to the next thing? It was fun. And I hate the ending of this match, but yeah, that's it for me. That's all I had. But you're muted.
To summarize what I just said, Ethan retains. He is still our NXT North American champion. Don't know if I'm going to continue. Is it like North American, Canadian? Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, what is happening, y'all? So yeah, so that was our main event. I wish that they kind of switched it around, switch Javon and Wes and this match, and I feel like the order actually would have been probably really good this episode. You can't have, Javon and Wes, man. So, but this is not how we ended though, because we ended up getting like a post-credit cutscene, if you will, because at the end we see Tony D'Angelo by himself at the restaurant. You don't need to call him D'Angelo no more. Tony D is just fine. We gave this man a Soprano-esque ending. I was like, I love you, Tony D. Please let this be it, and you go up to main roster finally. You've accomplished already a lot here in NXT.
Yeah, agreed. It was kind of cool though. I was like, oh, this is his way out. That's kind of neat. He kind of went out the way he lived in the whole thing.
Absolutely. So this was fun. We'll see what happens. Who knows? He might make an appearance at SummerSlam. Who knows? We'll figure all that out. But that brings us to the end of our NXT review this week. Again, I will say it definitely was a lot better than last week, because last week was a lot of talky talk to set things up. And now we're starting to get back into what we love NXT, which is good in-ring action and some developments with backstage segments. So we are about 4 weeks away from Heat Wave, so we're going to start to see the card shape up a lot. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention that I'm excited about is that next week also, because Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura are fighting still because of what happened last week. So those two are going to feud for a little bit, but it seems that Stax and Inamura are going to fight next week because Inamura is tired of everyone's dishonor. And he literally Stax across the face in the backstage segment, which was great.
Which was
also nice to see Ariana Grace back on my television screen. I've missed her for a little bit. So this is going to be interesting too. Lex is king. Like, your beard is still weird, but like, we're also setting up Miles versus Lexus at some point. I really did love the interview that we had with Miles, getting to know about his past and everything a little bit more. Lexus, we are walking over the edge, almost teetering over the edge of ableism with the way that you are taking this angle. I'm like, no, we're not about to make deaf and blind jokes, sir. Like, what is happening? I'm like, no. So, but that's going to be it for us here. Thank you so much for tuning in to NXTilosos. We appreciate you. We love you. And yeah, we got so much fun stuff coming up tonight and later this week, as you saw in our, video package. But for now, and until later tonight, this is us, and we'll catch you later. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.